Hey guys, good morning. It's Tony. So if you guys haven't seen Bitcoin, we did have that massive drop just I think yesterday at 11:15 at night. We had that huge drop down to major support. We did hit lows of 18,910, which I think is not breaking the lows of last time, because last time we did 17K. Yeah, last time the lows were 17,567.45. I think we are well underway in breaking those lows. Um, Again, before I start the video, please subscribe, like, and comment. Thankfully, my whole Patreon chat is nothing but short right now, so I'm happy with everybody, shorting everything. And again, that's just it just makes sense, right? There's no reason for you to be long right now. Absolutely no reason. And again, my original target for Bitcoin was actually, I think, 19K. That got hit last time here. I did not think we were going to go all the way down to 17K, but we did. My new target is actually 16K. So this next major support here, this weekly support on Bitcoin. Again, this major support of $19,000, I think personally it's going to get broken. I do not think we're going to have any major obstacles around this level. I do think that as of right now, we are headed towards new lows, which is that 16K area on Bitcoin. In my video yesterday, I basically said, you know what, this $20,000 level is not going to hold. I think we're going to dump like pretty hard, right? And we actually ended up, now we actually saw that dump, and I think we're going to keep going lower to that 16K level. Possibly, I think we do the same thing here, where you throw some wicks down here. I actually think you throw wicks at 15K. So I more than likely will be having some buy limits here at 15,000, possibly more closer to like 15.3. I will probably be having some buy limits, but not buy limits on Bitcoin. I would probably have the equivalent of that 15.3 on Bitcoin on Ethereum and Doggy. I will be loading up. I will start. Oh, there you go. See, you just broke that. You just broke that 19K level again. We're at 18,994. More than likely, I will be having buy limits for Ethereum and Doggy, not necessarily Bitcoin. But that doesn't mean that we can't go lower. I definitely think that we can go lower all over again. Right now, hard target is 16.3, but I do think that we are in a very open space, and I think 12K and 13K are very probable now. I do think that that's extremely likely now, but as of right now, I want to see what it does right here at that 16K, 15K level. Like I said, I do think I'm going to DCA again if we do hit that 15K right around this middle support, and we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, I think, my TA video from yesterday, I basically just, this is not really much of a TA video. It's more of a confirmation of what I talked about in my last Bitcoin video, which was, I think, a couple of days ago, if not like a week ago. Which I basically said that the new target was actually lower than before, because the 19K got hit is 16K. For Ethereum, the target right now would actually be 800. So I do see a drop. I do see a drop of this getting beat, this AA 1.56 low, getting past, and us going all the way down to 800, possibly throwing a wick maybe to like 6. I don't know if it'll go down to 650. I think 675 is more likely. It'll probably come like down here, throw a wick down here, and possibly stay at or like around this level. If we do end up dropping all the way to 423, then that's absolutely insane. But I think the major what happened last time right here, right? So what happened right here is you actually ended up crossing on the stochastic, right? You actually ended up crossing the stochastic like right here. You had another massive drop, and then you ran, right? But again, I will not be. This time, the indicator for last time was actually a perfect buy entry, which is right here. If we would have bought Ethereum on that perfect buy entry, we would have bought it at 991, right? Which is essentially, you would have still been in profit right now. Again, that's going to get broken, but you would have probably been able to swing this all the way up to close to that previous weekly, right? So again, I think that's going to be the next major tell of what's going to happen, or the low on Ethereum and Bitcoin. It's not necessarily when the stochastic or when support gets touched or anything like that. I think it's going to be the same thing as down here. Like whenever we have another bullish perfect entry on the daily, I think that's going to be bottom. And I think it's going to be somewhere around this level. I'm not 100% sure. But again, open target on where we're going to drop right now, because it's very it's very likely that we drop, that we could drop all the way to $420 on Ethereum. And again, stochastic has barely moved, right? From peak high on Ethereum, you were at 1278. you're at, you had a 200, you had almost a $300 drop, and you really only moved 74. You really only moved about 25 points, right? If you move another 25 points from here, this would take us all the way down to 25, right? 25, you still wouldn't really be at the lows. The lows of the stochastic were actually at 1. So I think we can see another $600 drop from here, right? Just from looking at the stochastic, $600 drop, that would put us in that range of $400, which is extremely, extremely likely right now. And again, for Bitcoin, I can almost guarantee you that's the same thing. From highs right here, from actual highs. And the thing is, Bitcoin's high was actually like right here at 57, right? You dropped 10 points on the stochastic, right? But from these highs, right, you actually hit highs up here, and you dropped from right here, right? You dropped 21.8 to 18.9, so you dropped around $3,000, right? And you only moved you actually went up a little bit on the stoke. You only moved maybe, like I said, only about like 10 points. So if we see that consistency all the way down, again, target right now is 16K, but the probable target is 12 to 13K, especially if Ethereum is at $400.23 or whatever. So it's looking extremely, extremely likely that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to crash further. And if we look at the SPY, right, futures is absolutely bleeding right now. We're actually at 376. After we closed yesterday, right, we closed yesterday at 381, and overnight you dropped, how much did you drop? What's the percentage drop, right? Overnight you dropped another full, 1.5%. You dropped on the SPY, right? Because futures right now are doing extremely, extremely bad. The NASDAQ, I have to assume it's kind of the same thing. You dropped 11.6 down to lows of 11.4, so like 200 points, right? Which is kind of absurd, considering that the NASDAQ is what is it called? It's essentially big tech, right? So we can kind of assume that big tech is going to be hurting a lot. And I actually told my Patreon members yesterday, I'm like, NVIDIA looks like an extremely, extremely good short right now. And even right now, right? Look at this. So I'll show you guys what I showed my Patreon members a little bit earlier today. And is that, last time we broke this trend, right? This little red line right here, we were right in the zone. You dropped this huge, 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 huge amount, right? If we match that up with, right? If we match that drop with where we are now. So we'll do this, drop it down to here, right? If we match that drop to where we are now, essentially, we are looking at I think that's what I said in my last video. We're looking at a potential of the NASDAQ dropping to like 10.2, 10.4, which this is what, like another 25, 30% drop from here, right? Wait, no, 10% drop. There you go. So another 10% drop from where we are right now, which is, again, extremely, extremely likely considering where everything is right now, considering what the NASDAQ is right now, the S&P 500 is right now, right? So target right now, you saw my previous video, again, it's around 340, 350 for the NASDAQ. And if we look at the dollar, right? The dollar looks like it's going to freaking moon in a bit, right? The dollar looks like it wants to go to all-time highs. It's already at, it's nearing all-time highs, right? All-time highs was at 105.77. We're only about 30 cents away from hitting that. And right now, I really, really, really think that we're going to be breaking all-time highs. I do not think that we're going to go down from here. It doesn't make sense for us to go down from here. Actually, I'll set an alert. That way I have an alert set up for when and if that actually happens. But it seems likely, right? It seems likely that the dollar is going to keep running. I think we actually might have a small recovery to the downside. There you go. See, that's why. 5 minute. Let me see. Actually, the dollar is dropping a little bit. We're looking at smaller time frames. Dollar's probably headed back to somewhere around 105.3, maybe. But you can see right here, we're actually closing on the 15 minute, you're actually having a really nice reaction off that. So we'll see if we actually go down and not recover, because I can definitely see us coming back down to like 105, somewhere around the 105 exactly area, and then running up like that, right? That's what I can see. But you wouldn't have a huge run up like this on the DXY without actually believing that it's going to keep going on further. And if we look at the weekly, you're going to close a bullish week tomorrow, more than likely. It's going to happen. I'm like, unless we have like another big dump on on the dollar, which I don't think we're gonna have, I think we're gonna keep rallying. I mean, every single time we've closed around these levels, right? Last time we closed at this level was, around here. All this, right? All this was, we were closing weeklies at this level. So it all basically meant a continuation, right? So I can definitely just see us, having a straight continuation up to $109. And I think that's where the DXY is headed, right? As of right now, because you actually broke, look at this. Even a regular fib forecast, right? Look, you run this all the way down to possibly here, right? Regular fib forecast is 109. You already broke this. You wicked up right here. It just takes a little bit more time. See, you're going to close a full candle. Well, not a full candle. You're going to close a candle above this previous high right there, right? And then again, if you actually end up breaking this high, target is actually higher now. The target is actually, well, not higher, but it's actually around, it's 108.5, right? So target, once that breaks, would actually now be there, right? 108.5. So it just seems likely that we go up to those levels, especially if we're closing a weekly bullish right now, or tomorrow, really, in a day and 11 hours. But things aren't looking good. Unless we have news today that is absolutely like wonderful and like ridiculously good, then I really doubt that. So we start recovering, right? Because right now, I mean, I want to see how this hour plays out on the SPX, but it does look like it's going to continue down, even though it wants to close bullish. I think there's a very strong chance that we don't, and we just completely null that bull cancel, and we just shoot all the way down, especially after this VC on SPX, right? This usually means continuation. It usually means a violent move down, and then we continue it all the way down. I would not be surprised to see SPX or the S&P 500 today at 369 and tomorrow like at 365. So I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.